Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker, hashtag shredding as cards, with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 28th of July until 12th of August. This is a new moon in Leo, and I feel Gemini for you, it's about pride, right? You've been working on yourself, especially during that Capricorn full moon, right? But you've been more decisive in the recent past, which is very beautiful for you as a Gemini, because you always see the bigger picture, you always see polarity, both sides. I had a reading today for myself where the base was the Lovers, was the Gemini card, so it is all about polarity for me, and I do very much fucks with whatever it is you bring to the table, which is a bit of both, right? And now, after working on yourself in terms of being decisive, right, and using your polarity, your sense of duality for your advantage, now you're getting into being really fucking proud that you're a Gemini, right? You're always about communication and seeking the truth and speaking the truth, right? And with that Leo new moon, you're gonna really fucking own it. You're gonna really be like, okay, I only talk to people that are actually valuing, and not only valuing, but on eye level with the sort of truth and the depth I seek, right? You as a Gemini, you wanna be friends with everyone, blah blah blah, but you need a certain depth of conversation to engage, right? Or to not be bored by the shit. An Aquarius probably just would leave right away if the conversation isn't sufficiently enough developing or elaborate. You're trying to, keep people open, try to see their point of view, yada yada yada. That's cool, but where are you in that equation? That is exactly what you're looking for. That being said, I don't do love readings. If love comes up in a reading, that is on you, because you're projecting it. Life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So it kind of depends on you how you want to experience those energies. And Gemini, it's all about polarity, right? That's why I am a smoking intuitive. Spiritual people, wake the fuck up. It's all about balance. So let's see. Oh, and I do have to apologize for missing the Capricorn full moon reading. I was in the Capricorn energy myself, setting up the website, daywalker-bali.com. And yeah, check it out. It's going to be fun. I'm going to do a DNA spread, which is basically, well, it's of my own invention based on the Tree of Life, but altered version of the Tree of Life. This could be interesting for you, Gemini, because it is about polarity, it is about how duality, that polarity is reflected in numerology, and the numerology then through mathematics and the Tree of Life is going to be the base for my tarot deck that I'm inventing, the tarot framework that is going to replace the Rider-Waite. Fuck that shit, we're going to streamline it. So it's very much about finding the truth, combining different truths into one comprehensive set of cards that is reflecting like the basic principles of the universe. So it could be interesting for you, Gemini. Stay updated, daywalker-bali.com. So we're doing the spread right now, see what energy exactly you're in. The overall energy for the reading in the spot of the 0 is the Daughter of Cups. That is beautiful. That's about new love, right? Since it's in spirit, it doesn't exactly have to be a person. I feel like it's you. I feel like it's very much that sense of self-love. Not exactly pride yet, but a sense of self-value, right? Who you want to be, what you want to feel like, yada yada yada. So this is you beginning to love yourself again, right? And also that idea of, being indecisive. You're not exactly indecisive, right? You decide to see both sides. That is being decisive in a sense. Then making a real world decision. I mean, there's other people that just do it like that, but these people, to make a decision, need your insight. Whether you want to be the leading figure in that, or you decide to provide information to someone else to make that decision, there's many ways this could work, but you realizing that what you bring to the table as a Gemini is so fucking valuable. that is that Daughter of Cups. So in the spot of the 9, there's you kind of having to make a move. There's a Son of Swords in the spot of the 9. The 9 is what connects the 0, so the spirit, or what the intention of the soul, basically, into this reality. And then what comes out of it in manifestation is the 8 of Pentacles. You working on something very freaking interesting, right? And networking also, but I really get the sense that this self-love is going to propel you forward in whatever you're working on, because you're able to value your skills even more and then put them to really fucking good use. Build something, an abundance of work, but I feel if it's driven by that self-love right here, this is going to be a real fucking good feeling to do that work. So it's not that kind of work where you drown in, but it very much feels like you're building something through realizing your capability, which is very freaking beautiful. So let's see how this spins around it in the DNA. So 1, 2, balancing, and the 3, the core lesson, so to speak. So the 2 of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Cups balancing each other out, kind of realizing what mindsets left you with like a sort of bad taste in your mouth, because the 4 of Cups is like, it looks good on paper but it actually feels off, right? And that is propelling you into movement, right? So you're coming out of that Hangman situation right here. And it's funny that the Hangman then kind of goes into that Son of Swords, because the Son of Swords is exactly moving out of a Hangman situation. You've been hanging in there, right? And now you're moving out of that 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is kind of, yeah, well, it's protecting your heart, right? 2 of Swords can mean a lot of things for you. I feel it is kind of your energy, right? Because there's 2 swords. The sword is air, right? And you're mutable air. So it's about the mind. It's about making up your mind in a sense, right? And since it's in reverse, you're kind of realizing where this feels off, where the way you think about yourself feels off, and you're moving out of that indecisiveness, or you're still kind of struggling with that, right? Letting go of coping mechanisms, right? That's interesting. Let's see how this develops further, because, well, it's basically just confirming what I already said, in a sense. You're coming out of that, struggling with that, being decisive, because some things just feel off, and you realize, okay, I have to move out of this, something has to be done about this, right? And you're moving out of, like, what is giving you drive is that sense of self-love. It's like, no, wait, I'm not only a good person, I'm very fucking gifted. I love the way I think about things, right? So I don't have to protect myself with anger just because it feels off. And that red, that 4 of Cups is actually like, it's not exactly bullshit advice, but sometimes it's people that make you feel shitty about yourself, right? That is an intuitive insight right now I'm getting, is that it feels like it should feel better than it actually does, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong here, right? Interesting. Let's see, the spot of the 4 and the spot of the 5. Huh. Yeah, there's my card for bullshit advice. That's the Hierophant in reverse. Is when you have a mentor that is making you feel shitty about yourself. There's also just you rearranging your morals, right? Where you're like, no, I actually don't have to be polite in that situation if it fucks me up, if it grinds my gears, and if I don't want to be here, I'm leaving it, right? And you're moving out of an 8 of Swords right here. 8 of Swords in reverse is yeah, caging yourself in with belief systems, right? And that belief systems, they can be that it can be hard for you to break up a conversation because you think like you have to somehow steer it to an end, maybe even a consensus. Well, sometimes you don't have to have a consensus, right? Unless in politics, then you're paid to get a fucking consensus, so you don't engage without trying to make that, like, to win the debate in the sense that you actually can make a decision in the end. You right now are making a decision to not put up with shit. That is not nurturing your being, because you very, very much come to love who you are, right? That is interesting. Let's see further. The 7 and the 8. Balancing each other. They are the swords that you want to see. That's an Ace of Swords and a Daughter of Swords. So you have an insight and clarity about, about mind energy, about setting up a new mindset. There's a Daughter of Swords, a Son of Swords, an Ace of Swords. This is you very much coming to terms with who you are. This is you coming to terms with being mindful and being in your head about stuff. You're very intellectual, right? And then some stupid motherfucker comes along and be like, you gotta get out of your head, clear your mind, meditate more. It's like, yeah, you gotta meditate, but you as an air sign, if you, like, the moment you sit down and meditate, you're gonna realize your mind goes rampant, right? And you're still the observer of your thoughts. So if anyone should be in their head about stuff, it's a mutable air sign, right? So that is, you are a thinker. You are embracing being a thinker. You're letting go of hierophants in reverse, like some spiritual gurus that tell you to shut off your mind. Fuck them, really. Fuck them. That is not who you are, right? Yeah, you need to ground yourself. Yeah, you need to balance yourself, yada, yada, yada. But you're a Gemini, right? You know how balancing works, right? You need arguments for balancing, though. Sometimes grounding is a good idea, but for me, in this reading especially, it's very much about you accepting that you need a different medicine than other people, than a fucking fire sign, for example, right? They need to get active to be grounded, to blah, blah, blah. You need to accept that you're a thinker, that your thoughts are your tools and you're using them wisely. And making a decision on not listening to bullshit advice because it feels shitty and it makes you doubt yourself, that is a very fucking cool thing. There is that Hermit. Ha! Bam! There is the Hermit card in the spot of the 6, surrounded by the Ace of Swords and the Daughter of Swords. This is you pulling back from bullshit, looking for your own inner truth. That is so amazing. Gemini. Brah! You're coming from that impulse of love, right? Of self-love. It's like, no, I don't want to doubt myself the entire time. Actually, I'm kind of in love with the way I do things and I see things. I think more people should see the upsides and the downsides, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine in everything, right? You very much like the way of viewing the world that way. So that's when you lose the coping mechanisms and you realize shit feels off with this four of Cups right here, and you get out of the hangman situation, out of hanging in there too long, out of like stretching super boring fucking conversations with people that don't actually listen, but they always try to tell you something. But you understand everything. You don't need to be told something. I'm sorry for telling you that. So if I'm that Hierophant in reverse for you and you feel like, okay, that motherfucker's talking bullshit, yeah, please disregard it. But I feel like I'm hitting a spot right here. And that Hierophant in reverse is you having different set of morals. Like you're rearranging your values because your values used to, because of your indecisiveness in the past, used to be very much linked to other people having like being decisive, making a decision, having a strong opinion about stuff. And you're like, yeah, but it could also be this and could also be this. Well, your strong opinion now, and that's your Son of Swords in the middle, it's like you're making a decision that the way you are viewing the truth is not only valuable, But for you especially, the only way to go, right? And you'll love that way. You'll love who you are, how you are. And that is what you're embracing. You're moving from that hierophant, from that bullshit mentor that is telling you to not overthink, and you go into thinking mode. You go into the hermit and then get clarity about the mindset that you want to entertain. And the manifestation where this all leads up to is you being very fucking capable in the work you do, right? And networking with people. Really fucking beautiful. Really fucking beautiful. Hey Gemini, that is such a beautiful reading of you accepting your superpower, the power of mind. And the swords right here, the mind, right? The air energy in tarot is so underrated, right? All the bad cards in tarot are swords. That is bullshit. The mind is a powerful tool, and air signs know how to use it, and you're embracing it. Love that duality. Love yourself, Gemini. That is a beautiful reading, and like I said, this pride from that Leo new moon is going to make you rearrange stuff and just stop listening to people that have advice that is not meant for you. Don't let them explain the world to you. You already know it, right? You just got to make a decision. You just got to own how you are, right? Then your decision might be just provide information to someone who actually manifests the shit, and you're off, right? It's like, it could be this, it could be this. There you go. But in that moment, you're owning who you are, Gemini. That is a beautiful fucking reading. That is so cool. And just dare to pull back, go into that hermit phase, and make a decision on who you want to be, or like embrace who you already are. So freaking beautiful, Gemini. I love you. Thank you for this.